Well, what we got going today is I have this shirt that is buttoned down and some of the buttons broke off. And then I saw something online and it was like a 3-second video of guys from the 80s and it was like the fashion of the 80s and the guys would dress up in so they got a leather jacket with no shirt under it and they would just leave it unzipped and they would just show off their chest and their six-pack. And I'm thinking, I kind of got a six-pack going right now, look. But I mean, my chest don't look fucking bad. Good looking body, dude. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go look like those guys and just not button my shirt up, walk around with my fucking chest, my belly hanging out. And it'll go down in history. Like a guy from the 80s. But now it's gonna be the 20s. A guy from the 20s. They're gonna say, look at those guys from the 20s. They just got like a button-up shirt, they just don't button it. They just walk around with no shirt. Like they got a shirt and they're like, oh, I'll button it when I want to button it. That's what guys from the 20s are like. So anyway, I got this house. It's for sale and it's for rent. You can rent it or you can buy it. I just want it out of my face. And I'm over here working on it today. This morning I called into the labor places because my Lowe's contractor job said they're gonna put me on the schedule for some time. First I gotta do paperwork, and then I'm gonna be a Lowe's contractor. But today, I call into the labor place, and labor finders said, we'll call you if we got anything. They said, we just had stuff today and there's a lot of people here trying to get the jobs and we sent everybody out already, but we'll let you know if anybody else calls and needs something. So they still got it going on at Labor Finders with you gotta show up at 5 a.m. and wait for somebody to call in needing workers. And and then I call the G1 staffing, which is, I think they only have one office and it's in town here in Little Rock. Or North Little Rock, like right next to the river. And I always liked that neighborhood. I like that neighborhood when I first moved here, that was one of the houses that I was like so close to buying. It was like either the one that I bought or there was one over there. But I really liked the geography of that area because it's right next to the river. The neighborhood itself is actually like a terrible neighborhood. It's like a bunch of crackheads running around. It's actually a really awesome neighborhood. It's like all the bad neighborhood that you can expect from being in like right near downtown Little Rock, like a lot of Section 8, a lot of crack, like pores, it's all going on over there. It's a really bad neighborhood, and I'm happy that I moved to Camp Robinson. And Camp is actually not that great of a neighborhood either, but it's better than 72114 or 72117. 72118 is actually a decent neighborhood. And I feel like I've been making it get better because I covered up all the graffiti when I first moved here. And there was some poors that lived across the street, and I got them kicked out. I'm working on making this neighborhood a better place. Anyway, I got this house and remodeled it. Now it's been years. Remodeled it, rented it out. The renter messed it up again. And so I worked on it more. The paint needs some love. I need to come in here and paint. Look at that paint. I need to come over here and paint this kitchen. I need to paint everything. And everything needs to be white paint. Because nobody likes any color other than white when you go with paint. They don't even like the colored white. They like it base white with no color added. And what's great about that color is you actually get it for a discount because the price of paint on the shelf at Home Depot or Lowe's includes the price of the coloring stuff. So you pick your color out, and the price on the shelf is that color that you picked out with the paint. If you go with just the paint right off the shelf with no coloring in it, they give you like $2 or $4 off or something like that. But they give you a couple bucks off for not coloring your paint. And what's funny is that people actually, one is the house that they're living in, they want to pick the color. So there's one way of looking at it where they wanted to pick their color. And so the base white is like a blank canvas. They can pick whatever color they want. Now, if they're renting a house, they probably aren't going to paint the house. And I've had people who moved into a house and then they did work on it, putting in flooring or painting it, and then they end up messing the place up. It's just that they don't own the house. Nobody ever takes any pride in the house because they don't physically own it. Like, they don't legally own the house. And so that makes it so that they have like this mental issue where it's like, why would I work on the house? It's not even my house. I have to pay rent. I'm not paying to buy the house. So it's actually like, well, you live in it. I don't live in it. From me, the guy that owns the house and is renting it to people. So it's kind of like a dumb argument of ownership versus working on the house and taking pride in the way it looks. And it's hard to get people in general that like, well, I think it's really hard to make the money. Like, so to have money, enough money to rent a house, let alone buy it. Like, so you got enough money to buy a house. Like, you must have worked really hard. Or just like gotten extremely lucky. So And for me, it's mostly the luck. I don't work hard. I just get lucky. And if I get unlucky, then it shows, because everything I have is relying on constant good luck. Anyway, so this floor, what happened was, when I bought the house, it had major foundation issues. And I went under the house and fixed the foundation as much as I could, to the best of capabilities. After I did that, now I see that, so the foundation issues made the whole rest of the house kind of crumble down onto the foundation. This floor like didn't exist. The floor was like a freaking half a foot or a foot under the walls. And it was like a mystery. How did the whole house not fall down? And so I was in here fixing this house and wondering about the mystery. How did this whole house not fall down? What we came to the conclusion of was, when they framered it, the framer put too many bolts in the top piece there. So there's a framing piece of 2x4 that goes along the top, and then if you've ever seen framing, so there's a piece of framing goes along the top, and then there's ones that go down, and then there's ones that go across the bottom. The one that goes across the top, they put too many freaking screws or bolts in there, or too many nails, and they just nailed the crap out of it. They're like dunk, 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 nailed the crap out of the top of that. And what happened is, when the foundation gave out, that too many nails up there held all of the rest of this house up on top of there. So it was all resting on these rafters with too many nails in this wall. And I think there's weight on this wall. So the weight is on this one wall. This wall is kind of like a decorative wall. It could really come out. But so all that weight was just sitting on this, and it had too many nails in it, just holding it up. The other thing is, so then I jack up the floor. I jack up all the floor joists, and it really made having the house like just kind of teetering on too many nails in here. It made the whole house just kind of wonky. It was like the house on this side, it kind of floated that way. So everything, if you like take a what are these, a level to it, it's gonna be pointing that way. So everything on this side of the load bearing wall, it's that way. Everything on this side of the wall, what's funny is that I got this side a lot better. Like, it came out a lot better. This side, it just did not come out right. This door, I had to like saw it down, and you can see that I had to stick the water heater on top of this piece of wood, because they were like, the inspector was like, this water heater isn't even freaking plumb. He's like, well, the water heater is gonna, I'm like, because I'm gonna have to rip this whole fucking house apart. And they judge based on the new house. And so this is why I'm going into new home construction. It's because this house, and seeing the foundation job, and how much that affected the whole house, and how I really have to rebuild the whole house. Like, there's no way around it, because the roof gets old, and I don't have a leaking roof yet, but the roof is getting old. And the older the roof gets, you got to replace it. It's like a car. It's like everything about the house. It just falls apart, and you got to replace it. And you really just need to build a new house. What they need to do is they need to get completely rid of, and I'm doing this self-handedly. I'm single-handedly doing this for the construction industry as far as I am involved. And I also have to replace this. Like, this is another thing. Like, who the fuck broke that? Like, how the fuck do you break this? Somebody broke that? Like, I gotta replace that little thing. And what you really need to do, because that thing broke, you need to replace the whole fucking house. You need to just put in a brand new house. Like, just bulldoze this house and put in a new house. That's how really it should go. And I'm single-handedly gonna change the whole construction industry to where there's so many people out there that think they need some work done to their house, like they need a new floor. Like, oh, my floor looks kind of bad. Anyway, so I had to fix all the floor, and then the flooring I put on top of it, it's like just wood, perfectly good plyboard wood. And then there's this VCT tile, which it's supposed to last forever. The VCT, that's what they use, or they used to use in like Walmart, Target, the commercial grade tile flooring stuff. And it's commercial grade, and it's supposed to last, you know, forever. It's supposed to be able to be running like buggies over it and grocery carts. Running over this commercial grade tile, and you could have like thousands of people stomping all over it every day and running wheels on it and everything. You know, you get 3,000 wheelchairs a day going across this tile. And it's supposed to last through that. The thing is, it didn't. And a lot of that tile under this stuff, a lot of that tile got messed up from bad renters that weren't paying the rent, and they thought that it would be funny to fuck shit up around the house. And so the bad renters kind of tore it up. And also, the foundation, what I didn't do was tear the house down and replace the whole foundation with a slab on grade, and then make the slab on grade like extra thick with longer sitting wet concrete to make it like extra strength, extra lime in there. There's lots of things you could do to make concrete like extremely full of strength. I could have made it like the house on top of the bed of concrete, and the bed of concrete is like strong enough to hold the Brooklyn Bridge. That's what I should have done, or could have done, if I just wanted to rip the whole house down. But I was trying to save the house, save the framing, do like a remodel, flip house, like rebuild, whatever. But instead of doing like a save the house project, I should have just bulldozed it. Anyway, I regret that. That's what I regret every time I'm here. And so the VCT got messed up by the foundation is still kind of sinking. Like, I'm sure every day, every time it rains, every time somebody walks through here, the foundation under the house is all just sitting on dirt, and that dirt is just sinking. And so there's some part of the house that sinks just a little bit every day. And so the VCT tile shows that There's some sinkage going on somewhere in the house. And so it said, well, either I gotta redo this foundation job every 5 minutes, or I'm just gonna cover it with like a big one piece of flooring. And I just laid this stuff out. Plop. Just rolled it in here. The inspector for Section 8 took pictures of the corners of this flooring. Like, what he could have said was, I just don't like the flooring because it looks like shit. What he did was, he wrote this report saying that the flooring is covering water damage. And I wish I was here to contradict his report when he was making it. But whatever. He thought that I rolled this floor out to cover water damage. What it is that I rolled the floor out because the floor under it just looks like shit. And so I rolled this shit out, put it on top of this other floor that looks like shit. And I didn't want to put carpet in because I knew that whoever's going to live here is going to fuck it up no matter what I put down. Unless it's like made out of concrete, I guess. Like, it's almost like if you have poor people, they have to live on top of a concrete slab. Which is what Walmart has started doing recently. They got rid of the VCT tile and they just said, put the fucking concrete slab in there. But the pictures he took were of this flooring that kind of climbs up the corners here. And I think that does kind of look like shit the way it's climbing up. So I'm going to go around and cut these corners that are a little too high. And part of it is that even if, like, so the pieces themselves are square. The pieces of this flooring are completely square. They were cut with like a square thing at the store. But the room is not square because of the foundation issues. So I just gotta go through and cut off the parts that kind of climb the wall there. The little strips. Cut that off. And then I don't know. I think it looks kind of better. It's like, and the thing about like any house, anything, you can always just keep making it look better. And the thing about construction is, it's really kind of like art. Like, I just can keep working on this fucking house, trying to make it look better until it looks better and better and better. I can put down more flooring, and put down better flooring, and put down whatever, and paint, and this is all just basic, and then I can start doing like patterns or finishes, and just keep doing finishes. And you could do so many finishes, like, but the thing is that it's not the finishes that are hurting this place, it's the foundation and the framing. So the actual foundation of the framing is not really in good shape, and that's why this house is $1,000 and not $1,200 or $1,400. It's like the cheapest house in there. And it's because whoever rents it, I hope they stay here and they don't fuck it up, And I hope they stay here for a long time and just keep living here and living here and living here. Because the house is very livable. Everything works. Everything is livable. You're not gonna fucking like hurt yourself being here. It's a perfectly fine house. But odds are, whoever moves in here is gonna pay rent for about 3 months, and then they're gonna stop paying rent, and I'm gonna have to evict them. And that's the way most people who rent are. And the most I can hope for is they just move in and stay. But if I put in my hopes that the reality is if somebody rents it, they're gonna fuck the place up and stop paying the rent and fuck everything up. If I factor that in, then I can't fix everything. I can't fix the foundation, fix the thing is that if I go to start fixing the framing, I might as well just rip the whole house down. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I was doing fixing the foundation. It was like piece by piece ripping the whole house down. And I was like, why am I ripping out this room, and then I'm ripping out this room, and then I'm ripping out this room, and then I'm fixing the foundation. And then I have to come back and I have to rip out this room, and then I fix the framing here, and then I rip out that one, and I fix the framing there. Why am I doing it all like piece by piece by piece? And it's even harder that way, because then it's like everything's sitting on top of everything. And what I really need to do is just rip the whole fucking house down and build a whole new brand new house. The plan is I'm gonna rent this place out. Somebody's gonna have to see the floor and say, you know what, I can just live on top of this floor. It's really not bad. It's like, if you look at the bottom of it, it's like, so you look at the bottom of it, it's like plastic, but it kind of feels like a carpet. It's like a little soft plastic carpet kind of floor stuff. And you know, people can walk in here and they say, you know what, it looks kind of like plastic carpet floor stuff, but the print on it looks like a real floor, and who cares? What I need is a nice 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. I got a crapper in the master bedroom, and I got a bathroom, you know, another full bathroom on the other side of the wall there for everybody to use. And that's what I need, is a 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, whatever. And I'm happy to live there, and the rent is nice and cheap. And that's who's gonna move in here. And then hopefully they keep paying the rent forever, but they probably won't. And then I'm going to evict them, and then I'm going to bulldoze the house and build a brand new one. But for right now, I'm just going around and cutting out little pieces of this flooring stuff. It's way too fucking hot in here now. It's like 120 outside. You know what? It's hot. I'm gonna leave. And you got this big TV. People will walk in and they see the big TV. You're gonna say, you know what? That's all I really wanted. It's a big TV in my house. You can walk in the front door and see a big TV and say, ooh-wee, darling. But anyway, gonna talk about the got a labor place, the G1, and they sent me to this guy who I've worked for before. And the first time I worked for him, he fired me in like a half an hour. Like, I swear he likes to call the labor place just to fire people. And he calls the labor place, gets somebody to come out, and fires them. That's his thing. And he gets like some kind of a hard-on from doing that. And the guy, I showed up. He said, hey, how you doing? He asked me if I ever, and he described the job.